Yo fellas, in this video I want to share with you my build made in the Vaal League. It is Chieftain Marauder Shockwave Totem. And I made this build because I'm actually tired of super turbo clear speed meta, and I didn't want to rush through everything without deeper thinking or having no time to anything, just to rush. I wanted to take my time and get actually some fun from the game. And this build is actually helping me a lot to achieve what I really want from this game. So let me tell you about my gear, stuff, skills. I will fly from here to here because I would like to highlight synergies that I found when I made this build. So let's start with my gear, body armor. It is pretty standard armor with life and resistances, and this is actually what I needed. Maybe I could get better, but it is enough for me. My skill is Shockwave Totem level 21, both for 10C without quality, couldn't find any with quality, and it is okay. Added fire level 20, control destruction level 20, combustion soon level 20, increased area, which I am swapping sometimes with concentrated effect, and faster casting. Important thing is that Shockwave Totem itself does not benefit from nodes that are making your spells cast by totem have 3% increased cast speed. Here I took this node because actually I took all other important nodes for me, so I chose it because of 10% damage, because right now I'm heading here, so I didn't want to took 10 strength, instead I took 10% increased totem damage, and that's all what I'm getting from this node. So same here, any spell cast by totem have 5% increased cast speed. That didn't work for the totem. It must be global, faster casting, like here, increased cast speed, that's global, so that's what I'm trying to get actually. And here I have another item which has 39% of physical damage as extra fire damage. I could get other elemental damage as an extra from physical, but this is enough. Then I have two supporting skill, and this was really important for me because here I have increased critical strikes and faster casting as well, so I'm using here Orbs of Storms supported by those two skills in order to cast it faster and to proc elemental overload, because critical strikes done by Shockwave Totem does not proc this mode, so I need to cast it via Orb of Storms. Then I have increased duration, which is supporting my Orb of Storms, and the last one is Righteous Fire, Vaal Righteous Fire actually, and buff lasts 6.5 seconds with increased duration, and with faster casting it allows me to get it very quickly during the battle. I could get here flammability or maybe even Vaal Haste, but for Vaal Haste I would have to get more dexterity, and I didn't want to cover more dexterity than I have right now, so I would have to get this dexterity node, and then I will have 109, which will still not allow me to get maximum level, so I choose to get Vaal Righteous Fire, and it is doing the job. Flammability is also not the perfect because some mobs can have hex immunity, so this allows me to get more damage whenever I want, when I have all charges. So this setup is very important for me, and then I have some spell and elemental damage increases, and that's really good. Another very interesting item is this one, which I bought for 15C. It has 50% increased Shockwave Totem cast speed. That's what I'm looking for when I was doing this build. Then I have two interesting supported gems. One is a level 16 burning damage and another is minion life. So minion life with minions have 21% increased maximum life is supporting my stone golem. And the burning damage is supporting Searing Bond Totem. So here I have 5 linked skill, and another one is Minion and Totem Elemental Resistance, Efficacy, and Elemental Focus. This allows me to get 37,000 without buffs. So this is quite a number, and it is helping a lot during maps and boss fights. Then I have also very good mode. Nearby enemies have -2 fire resistance, and this is helping a lot during fights. Despite I have to be closer to enemies, but I have quite a nice life pool, 7k right now. So I'm also very close to the battle all the time. Then I have Tukohama Fortress, of course, with blood magic, lots of life, increased totem damage and additional totem, and some armor when I pop up my totems. So now I have 5,000. When I pop all totems I have 8,500, and this is really nice. Then I have Calm Roots with just a buffed life and immunity to freeze and stun. Here I have a belt with very nice increases to fire damage and to elemental damage. Then some life, of course, and other resistances to cap them properly. Here is a Javel just to support my Shockwave Totem, and it is okay. Here I have life and resistances. That's all what I needed from the gloves. I could get maybe some with faster casting, but the setup right now is okay for me. So I have here Immortal Call, cast when damage taken support, and then Stone Golem, and I'm here having a concentrated effect. And maybe when I will get to the level 20, it is very soon, then I will get here Flammability for more damage if I would need it. Here I have a shield charge, fortify, and faster attacks level 10, and we are moving quite fast, I must say. And despite I have only 51% for hit, I'm hitting all the time when I rush through everything, because whenever something is on my way, it is stopping me actually. So I'm getting this buff all the time. My rings are crafted by myself with Essence of Hysteria. Then I get 10% of physical damage as extra fire. Here I get some cold resistance. That is really nice, because I was somehow struggle with this resistance, and I get it here, so I'm very happy with that. And another one is almost the same. I have increased elemental damage, extra fire, and life. So pure damage and life buffs. Very good. Last item is Yoke of Suffering, and I choose this item because despite it is very popular, it is helping a lot during especially boss fights. How does it work? It allows your elemental damage to shock, so here I have 10% chance to shock, then I have additional 5% here and here, so I have 20% chance to shock. And then enemies take 5% increased damage for each type of alignment you inflict on them. So when I ignite and when I shock them, they get 10% increased damage. So then shock itself, let's say, allows to get an additional 5%. So they are taking 15% increased damage. Then from Ascendancy Moon Presence, enemies near your totems take 16% increased physical and fire damage. So this is stacking with Yoke of Suffering, so this is giving in total 31%, and then I have Hinekora Death Fury, and here we have 10% chance to cover rare or unique enemies in Ash for 10 seconds, and then they have 20% less movement speed and 20% increased fire damage taken. So I think this is also alignment, so let's say here I have 25% increased damage for them, then I have here 15, so this is 40, and here is like 16, so this is 56% increased damage taken, and I'm thinking here about fire damage. So my totem is dealing 31,000, one of them, so they are not taking 31,000 but 50% more, so they are taking like 45,000, and this is a really huge buff for this build with this item especially. Then my flask, here I have immunity to bleeding, here instant recovery and 50% of life recovery to minions. Very nice, I'm using it very often. Here I have silver flask with reduced charges and immunity to poison for more cast speed and movement speed, immunity to curses and sustain, and here some damage, movement speed and life regeneration as well from consecrated ground. When I was leveling moving this way. Here I took versatility for 20 points for dexterity and intelligence. That is very helpful for Marauder because there is no other way without items that you can get dexterity as fast as here. Then I go directly to Resolute Technique, and from Resolute Technique I go directly to Ancestral Bond to have additional totems summoned at time. And at level 27 I started to use a Shockwave Totem. Then I go here to the north actually and get all intelligence to be able to support my spell gems. Move here and here, then I respec all those nodes and go here to Arsonist, and then I go for the blood magic and cover the rest of the life and damage here. Build is working really nice. I have nice as for me clear speed, safe play, don't have to rush anything, mobs are easy to kill. Maybe Delve is not super great because I need to pay some attention, especially at higher levels, but it is still okay for me. One thing with Ascendancy is I started with Namahu Flame to get additional 70% of physical damage as extra fire damage for 3 seconds and some penetration. This is a very huge buff for this totem. Then Hinekora Death Fury for 1% of damage dealt by your totem is leached to you as life. And then Arongui, Moon's Presence, and Tukohama Ward's Herald. And here totem are immune to fire damage, so I can do any map with elemental reflection. 50% of your armor is added to your totems. That's also very nice. Totems can taunt, so I'm more safe than ever, and they reflect 50% of their maximum life as fire, so this is also additional damage dealt to enemies. That would be nice to have a quality of Shockwave Totem, because then they will have 20% increased life, but without it, it is still very good. For I think it was here, yes, the Pantheon, I just took a Soule of Lunaris to get additional damage reduction up to 8 and movement speed, and here I tried to get Soul of Shakari for immune to poison. I have also capped my fire resistance at the maximum level, because then I could be able to use Wise Oak. Right now I'm not using it. Build is working for me perfectly fine. Maybe I will swap it later, but right now it's really okay. I have good fire penetration because here I have 19%. Then I have -9 from here, and from combustion I have also -19, so this is 28 plus 19, it is 47. It is perfectly okay. My gems, here I have pure penetration gem, and here I have clear mind for 59% increased spell damage while no mana is reserved. Here I have Spire of Stones, for totems cannot be stoned, and those two are pretty standard setup in any totem and blood magic build, I must say. Here I will get Javel with pure cast speed, however right now I'm not on this level, so I'm not buying this Javel before I get to this point. All in all, build is working very nice for me. I recommend it for anyone who would try it. One additional thing is that previously when we put 3 totems and then Searing Totem and we change all 3 for new one, this totem was replacing one of each, so then you have to cast it again, and now we can just put it in one strategic position and just change location of other totems. That is a very nice change, and I'm really happy that it has happened. So that's all from my side. Thank you for watching, and see you later, alligators.
And you shall obey my order.
We need to close this.
Insignificant. Stopped. Obstacles destroyed. Ultimate chaos.
To me, Exile, quickly!
Gaze into the abyss.
They're coming
From the
through!
void.